Hello everyone, Arrowfell is a two-dimensional action game where you control 4 heroes in a snow-covered world. The game will be available for both consoles and PC, and the price is currently $30. In this review I discuss how the game is experienced on the Nintendo Switch and whether it is worth buying. The story of the game revolves around 4 characters who are trained huntresses. They must unravel the mystery of an ancient technology deemed dangerous. On the way they meet lots of people who need help with various things. Without spoiling, I can say that the game's narrative is fairly easygoing. Despite all the surrounding dangers, it feels as if many conversations have a twinkle in their eye. It's not super serious, but still a story with a clear progression. Basically, this game is about exploring two-dimensional levels, finding important items and defeating enemies and bosses. You will find that many of the courses have locked roads. This is because you have to acquire special characteristics in order to progress. Each hero has his own special skill. RWBY can dash through the air, useful for reaching new platforms. Vice can create new platforms. Blake clones herself, and Yang can destroy large boulders. They are all useful in different situations. In addition, there is a system that allows one's individual skill to be upgraded, but you have to play further into the game for that to happen. Along the courses you can also find skill points that give a stronger attack and more defense. What I like is that there is a clear character development in the game. It's not the classic level up system, but rather an own take on it all. You can also choose how you want to distribute the skill points. It is possible to put all the eggs in one basket and make one character super strong, or you spread the points evenly between the 4 girls. The choice is yours. The game runs at 30 FPS in docked mode, and from the test I've done, everything flows quite well actually. No major dips. Whether you're facing a boss or fighting enemies, it's pretty much hassle-free. One reason why it works well is that the levels can sometimes be perceived as quite empty. Don't expect a screen scrawled with explosions and hordes of enemies. From my experience, there are at most 7 to 8 enemies at once, and it's nothing that puts a strain on the game's performance. But this is how the game is experienced on the Nintendo Switch. I do wonder if the game has more to offer on the other consoles and PC, with more and bigger explosions and other effects. Please comment below if you know anything about it. I haven't experienced any crashes either. This is good. Let's discuss the control, because it gives a mixed impression. Each hero has access to 2 different attacks, one ranged and one used in close combat. The positive thing is that they are responsive to use and useful in different situations. Some enemies are dangerous in melee, which means that the gun gives an advantage. However, you have limited ammunition and must wait until the green meter is filled. Then you can fire again. So that means if you don't want to sit and wait, you can use your melee weapon. Here I discovered that some characters are easier to use than others. I like RWBY's sight. It has a decent range and is good for eliminating enemies. Yang only uses her fists, which increases her risk of getting hurt. However, her melee attacks are quite strong. The problem lies in the combination of one's movement pattern and how the weapons are used. You cannot attack and run at the same time. This means that every time you swing your weapon, you stop and have to wait until the attack is finished. Then you can move again. I've seen this in many 2D action games, and it's a pattern I have trouble liking. In general, both running and jumping work very well in this game, but as soon as you use a weapon, it's as if the game stops and you have to wait a short second. Personally, I would have appreciated if you could attack and run at the same time, but this is not the case. For those who want to configure the control, I unfortunately have to disappoint you. From what I found in the menu, this option is not available. However, you can set the sound, choose the language, and whether you want to play with vibrations or not. I would like to see there was an option to configure the control, but a button map is still logical. You attack with Y, jump with B, use your special skill with X, and shoot with A. Basically, the control scheme is easy to use, but I can understand those who prefer something else. What I like about this game is that it's non-linear. Over time you open up new paths that you sometimes have to return to, so there is an investigative aspect to the game, that you return to a completed level to see if you missed something important. Sometimes an old place is just the place that allows you to progress in the game, so the design is constantly in motion. Forget A to B, rather expect a two-dimensional world where exploration is put at the center. Overall, this is a worthwhile and comprehensive adventure game, but I would like to point out that the controls can feel a little awkward to use. Either you run or you attack. You cannot do both at the same time. I wish it were the other way around. $30 is well in line with what you get. In my opinion, it's worth it. Feel free to subscribe to my channel. I review new games every week. Have a nice day. See ya!